Hey, we are back with a lightning news flash tonight. That's what I'm going to do. There's so many things about today that I thought maybe we should just talk about a few things and go and do some little bit of history as well, right? Lots of cool things happened today um, back in history. So let's take this off here and let's take a look at what we've got. So before I do that, let's get this thing to do that. So um, kind of going to start off here with we talked about a little earlier today. Tommy Smothers passed away yesterday, the age of 86. Um, and this article that I'm checking out, it says though he played a naive buffoon on stage, he was the driving force behind the folk singing duo's groundbreaking TV show. He had lots of ideas and uh, was was kind of the I don't know how to say it, the mouth of that show. There was some crazy antics that he did. He always played the physical humor really well. It was always one of my favorites, and probably some of the things that I do, whether it's whatever socially, things like that, come from him. And so, yeah, thinking about him. Uh, Next, I want to kind of talk about some of the things that happened today. You can see right here, we've got the John Lennon Yoko Ono album Double Fantasy, which came out right prior to his death. It was in 1980. Today, Just Like Starting Over goes #1 here in America, weeks after his death. The song is about Lennon's relationship with Yoko Ono, how he's ready to leave their previous issues behind. He was a jealous guy, it says, and start fresh, a sentiment many married couples can relate to. The basic plot line of many romantic comedies. It's Lennon's first single in 5 years, issued in America on October 27th, 1980, the same day a mentally disturbed fan named Mark David Chapman buys a gun, oddly enough. How about that? The song is climbing the charts when on December 8th, Chapman uses that gun to shoot Lennon, killing the 40-year-old superstar. Lennon's music saturates the airwaves and sells out in stores in the wake of the shooting. Just Like Starting Over rises to the top of the chart and stays there for 5 weeks, serving as celebration of his life and painful reminder that it ended too soon. I was watching Monday Night Football, and Howard Cosell told me about his passing, his being shot. Then there's there was some kind of dark stuff going on here in the past news, but there's some cool stuff. This one was interesting. In 1960, speaking of John Lennon, the Beatles, returning from Hamburg, Germany, the Beatles play a show in their hometown of Liverpool, England, with Chaz Newby filling in for Stu Sutcliffe, who stays in Germany and never rejoins the band, obviously. The show gets a lot of attention and is an early taste of Beatlemania. How about that? Also, let's take a look here. Let's see what we've got. Yes, another quick show. We have another news show here. What's up, Miss So? Pete, how's it going? And hey, Casey, what's up? So yeah, good to see you guys here. We get some interesting news here. Blake, oh God, another quick hammer away. Of course, that's the way it goes. And let's see what else we have here in this news for today. Well, actress Carrie Fisher passed away on this day back in 2016. And let's see here. There was some really interesting stuff here, as I see constantly, and then not when I need it. Delaney Bramlett of 70s blues rock duo Delaney and Bonnie passed away in 2008 at the age of 68. Let's see here. This is crazy. Well, in 89 was the big Chuck Berry issue about the video cameras. Here's one for you. This is dark, but I guess, interesting for some people. This happened in '83. Rock and roll singer Walter Scott of Bob Cuban and the Inman is shot in the back and left floating in a cistern where he is found 4 years later. James H. Williams Sr., who married Scott's second wife, Joanne, after the singer's disappearance, is found guilty of the murder. Joanne also receives a 5-year prison sentence for hindering the prosecution. Yikes. In '82, only a year earlier, Billy Joel plays a benefit concert in Allentown, Pennsylvania, as his song Allentown makes its way up the charts. Big Star. This is a band, if you haven't checked them out, be sure to. It's a classic band. I found it at the dollar store, a DVD about Big Star. In 1978, their guitarist, Chris Bell, passed away at age 27 in a car accident. Here's one for you. In 1978 as well, on this day, the BBC comes under fire when it plays part of the Sex Pistols' God Save the Queen, which has been banned on the network on a show called Listen to the Band. The educator, Dr. Rhodes Boyson, calls it another sign of the declining public morality, which so rightly worries the general public. How about that? Let's see. The Faces. Here's one. The Faces in 1975, 3 years earlier, announced their split. Rod Stewart devotes himself to his solo career, and Ron Wood officially joins the Rolling Stones. Let me see here. Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour begins in 1971 on this day. Oh, and a year after that, Matt Slocum, who's the lead guitarist for Sixpence None the Richer, is born in Nashville, Tennessee. I saw them here in town and hung out with them a little bit after their show. See here, Led Zeppelin 2 hits number 1 on the American album chart. And Davy Jones in 1960, that was in 69. In 65, Davy Jones plays a junkie on If You Play Your Cards Right, You Too Can Be a Loser episode of the TV series Ben Casey. Jones soon lands the lead role in The Monkees. London's Sunday Times in 1963 names Paul McCartney and John Lennon the outstanding composers of 1963. How about that? Let's see. While attending a class at Liverpool College of Art, John Lennon meets his first wife, Cynthia Powell. How about that? Here we go. In 1952, David Knopfler, rhythm guitarist for Dire Straits, is born in Glasgow, Scotland. And Terry Bozzio was born also in this date in 1950. He would be in Missing Persons. He'd play with Frank Zappa, Captain Beefheart, and would also play for the Knack when me and Jeff went to see them live. So there you go. So there's some cool stuff. Then there's something else I'd like to share with you as well. This is about, first of all, let me check the chat and see what's going on. Sex Pistols weren't that great and relevant anyway. Well, I mean, they were what they were, but it still kills me that they needed the man oh, okay. All right. They still needed the man to put out a record, even though they were like, screw everybody. They still needed them to do that. The other thing here we got is a documentary that is getting has come out. It's called The Immediate Family, and it's a documentary that it's directed by Denny Tedesco, who made The Wrecking Crew. And it's about that was about an earlier generation of renowned session musicians, if you've not seen it yet. The film chronicles these artists that are in here. I'll tell you about. Let me go back to the beginning here. But The Immediate Family is what it's called. The headline here is from the LA Times, and it came out on December 11th. And it says, LA Confidential, the untold stories behind some of the greatest songs of the 70s and beyond. About 50 years ago, a quartet of LA session musicians became so synonymous with the era-defining soft rock scene, headlined by James Taylor, Carole King, Jackson Browne, Linda Ronstadt, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Fleetwood Mac, among others, that they were dubbed the Mellow Mafia. Danny Korchmar, on guitarist, and drummer Russ Kunkel, bassist Leland Sklar, and Waddy Wachtel, who's a guitarist, made their way to Los Angeles through various sliding doors. By the early 70s, they frequented the same studios, worked with the same engineers, and played the same sessions. Championed by the English producer Peter Asher, the four became in demand separately and in different configurations for their technical capabilities, inventiveness, and gift for bringing live sound to the studio. In 71, Korchmar and Kunkel appeared on King's best-selling Grammy-winning Tapestry and were joined by Sklar on Taylor's Mudslide Slim and Blue Horizon. 2 years later, Wachtel played on Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham's debut album, Buckingham Nicks, and Wachtel and Kunkel helped shape Nicks' 81 solo album, Belladonna. All four have joined Ronstadt, Brown, and Taylor on tour, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Individually and together, they've appeared on about 5,000 albums. A new documentary about the group, The Immediate Family, will premiere. That's premiered Tuesday back then, and debuted in theaters. Let's see. The film chronicles the foursome's decades-long work with musical icons through original interviews and archival footage. It's named after the group's current band with fifth member Steve Postel, which is set to release a new album, Skin in the Game, in February. We've been around such amazing people for so long that we're sort of used to the attention, observing it and being part of it, Sklar explains of the film. But seeing the movie is sort of strange, sort of a strange reality. We realize, oh my God, this is actually just about us. Wild. On the Zoom call from their homes in Los Angeles and a hotel room in Phoenix, Wachtel is on tour with Nicks. The four musicians gathered to tell the story of 13 of their classic tracks. So you can check this out. James Taylor, Country Road, they kind of go over that. They also go over Carole King, I Feel the Earth Move from Tapestry. And then there's some photos in here of some of the guys on stage with Taylor and King and stuff like that. But yeah, looks to be a great film. There's a lot of these great films out there that talk about so many of these artists. Lightning in a Bottle is another one that's really, really good. Hired Gun is a really, really good one as well, talking about the different people who are hired into bands and how it's not a guarantee. And they speak a lot about Billy Joel's his band that he had when he was making his way up through it. So yeah, great musicians. Then down below, you'll see that there's some places to go to check out some different things. Maybe what I can do is put this. I should probably put this in here too. I can just put this into the chat. And there we go. And this is the article from the LA Times. If you want to read that, you can check that out. But yeah, another great movie. There's so many great movies out there about these artists and the people with whom they worked. And then there's also a link down below for a scene from FM. There's also a link for the whole movie of FM. So be sure and check those out. And yeah, I think I talked about an unboxing. Shall we do that as well? Let's see what we've got here. I'm trying to remember everything that's in here and if it's really pertinent to the show, but we'll see. We'll see what we got here. If not, I've got something else. I know what I can do. Okay, so this is that. I gotta remember what the heck all this is. Okay, so what do we got here? Look, there's a suffocation warning on here. Keep bags from children. Okay, so don't do that. So this is a tool that I bought, and it is kind of pertinent to what's going on. I guess I better open up that other one so I can figure out what's in it. Well, that's kind of strange. Let's see what we got here. What is it? Oh, yeah. There you go. We're talking about a little bit of drink in there. This is going to go with a gift that I just gave. So that's pretty fantastic. Got a little whiskey drinking to do there. I have an old cabinet, speaker cabinet. And so I believe in, like reusing so many things. Yeah, there are a lot of them out there. There's a lot of good ones. And then there's some that are, I tried watching the David Bowie one, but I'm going to have to watch that some more to get through it. That for me, that one was a little jumpy. It was a little all over the place to try to keep up with it. So anyway, speaker cabinet. So I had a speaker cabinet on wheels. This is like for playing a guitar through it, but there was no speakers in it. So what I did was I kind of tore the inner facing out, and then actually one of them is right over there. I had two of them. They're Ampeg cabinets. Well, I need to get through some of the tougher parts of it. So I'll show you the artwork on the side of the box. That's what this is. I mean, I suppose I could show you the actual unit. But so I got one of these oscillating tools because, those blades, they go through about anything. And so I thought it would be nice and easy to use one of these to cut some of the insides out of it because I was having trouble getting down in there. So this will be a nice handy unit to get down in there to get my stuff out of there. So I got to remember what the heck this is. I am at a loss as to the other thing that's in here because I thought that tool, what was in this box. Oh, sugar monkeys. Things are falling. That's what happens. These things happen. Let's all just sit and relax. So what I found was another one of these frames for a record. So I might decide to put one of these in here and hang it on the wall. And it's very similar to the one that I just got. So I'll have to see about that. And then what in the heck is this? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. These are real handy, these little towers. It's a power strip, but it's a tower. And since I just got a new phone, it uses the USB-C. But it's got 3 USBs on it, and then it's got 4 of those all the way around it. And then you can turn this one on and whatever you got. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to use it down here for all my stuff. Now, should we do, if you get just a second, I just got this. For an awesome Christmas gift from my friend. Gave me this. I used to get these, Boris Vallejo, and I used to get the Frank Frazetta ones as well. And Julie Bell is Boris Vallejo's wife, and they both do this amazing, amazing work. There they are together. So I'd kind of talked about it with my friend, and he found this new one that they have, and so he picked that up for me. Those are very cool. It took me right back. All right, now here's one. We'll do this for our last thing, and then I will sign out. And then I will see you next week. Not quite sure. I may see you before that because I want to do a few more of these before the New Year's out. And be sure and check out on Facebook. I just started what I would do if this this podcast, if Hammerway had a radio station. Oh, look at that. This is something I'm going to be getting into, talking about, because it's a big part of my childhood, or, whatever, my continuing childhood. Let's put it that way too. I'm a big fan of animation, and a big fan of these shows. And what Bruce Timm did with DC was very exciting. The Batman animated series, his style really turned everything. I don't want to say it turned it around, but I mean, it really propelled DC into what it's been doing for the longest time now, for decades now. And this is season 1. I had season 2 already, but of the regular of Justice League. So I like collecting some of these. Like I mentioned just earlier, though, on Go Game Go, though, I don't always know where I want to stop with these, because there's a lot of fun stuff that you think, oh, I'd like to collect that, but then you get it and you're like, as I think, as you may have said, Miss So, somebody said it earlier, some of it just doesn't hold up. You get to watch it and you're like, yeah, wasn't as good as I thought, or does it really hold up? Maybe not. But man, I hate when that happens. They just start falling all over because they get bumped around and they pop out. So I really dislike that. But that's what happens sometimes. You get these things used, and you gotta get them put together right. But I did enjoy this program, but I enjoyed the Unlimited series much. I enjoyed it better, more. I liked it better, more. Anyway, but no, it's something I want to start talking about, because again, it does have its ties to music, especially with Marvel, in some of my favorite comic books, especially like Shang-Chi, which I want to talk about that because of my whole thing with the Disney Marvel MCU stuff, and how silly it is. And it's really about, I'm not going to worry about doing that. It's really about how people were treated throughout the whole thing. That's the main thing for me. It's not so much how they treated the characters. They owned it. They could do whatever they wanted. But most of it was just about what they did about, the people that they were, who would be buying their tickets. I can't even say it right now. Let's see what we got. Don't drink like in the 80s lifestyle. I'd not survive that. Yeah, it's something you not want to do all the time. Don't want to do that. Julie's actually the better artist. Well, okay. All right. Fine fantasy girls scantily clad. Well, there's plenty of that and that stuff. Plenty of that. I'm surprised you haven't gotten into anime. I have in a bit of a way. Sometimes it's just a little too hectic for me. It's a little too hyper. It's yeah. There's a lot of people that don't know who Shang-Chi is. No, he's not. No, that's like I say, just the easiest way to put Shang-Chi into place is just, again, I've said it a million times. I'll say it one more time. Is just take your favorite Bruce Lee movie and marry it with your favorite James Bond movie. And that's it. That's plain and simple. Surprised you. Yeah. I do. There are some things that I like. I don't know where anime starts and where it ends. Sometimes I don't know what is, what all can be put into that. Can Avatar be put into anime, or is that just an animated series? Because I love that, but it just depends. Like I do like certain things. Akira, I'm a big fan of that. I just bought that not long ago on Blu-ray. Um, and I like Appleseed. And there was the French one. What is it called? Sugar. Oh, come on. I can say it any other day. It took place during the French Revolution, and there were zombies in it. La Chevalier d'Eon. Yeah, I think that was it. So I do like that. I own that over there. And there's some things that I like, but it just overall, I've tried to watch some of it, and I've been told certain things are really, really good, but either it's just too all over the place, or I don't know. I'll give it another shot. I mean, I'll continue to give it a shot. There's certain things like I want to finish watching Attack on Titan. I would love to finish that. It's pretty cool. I mean, there's some of the artwork in those it's really, really well done. It's whether or not I can follow the storyline. My son loves. He's got a good handful of stuff that he likes to watch, and then my nephew is a huge anime fan. Check out the 80s and 80s cyberpunk anime stuff that's R-rated. You may dig that stuff. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 80s and 90s. I get you. Avatar is just Avatar. Okay. Good to know. That's good to know. Yeah. Because Appleseed, Akira. Yep. Yeah. I remember getting a Akira as a bootleg at a comic shop years ago, and it was in Japanese. So I don't even know that it was subtitled. It may have been subtitled, but it was all in Japanese though. And I actually made a video. I don't know how I can put it. I suppose I should put it out there now before I get monetized and stuff. I guess I made a video. I actually edited a song, a Satriani song, over the motorcycle fight scene in the beginning of Akira. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. A lot of DVDs bookmarked that are anime, like Cowboy Bebop. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's stuff I want to get into doing voiceover work. Cowboy Bebop was a good series. Skip the live action version. That's what I've heard. Did you like Miss Stowe, did you like Attack on Titan? I wonder if you liked that. The other one, what's the other one my son really liked was Full Metal Alchemist. It's not easy to say some of these. And then Seven Deadly Sins. I think I started watching that one too. But just started watching it. So I never got very far, but I think Cowboy Bebop is one that my son watched. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. And then check out that Le Chevalier d'Eon. If you haven't ever seen that, check that out. It was a series, just a limited series. And I bought that years ago. So yeah, so there we go. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Pretty soon I'm gonna be doing a message right after this. Hopefully we're gonna be having a quick little lightning news flash with Bethany Hartstone and Graham Bonnet again. They'll be back. I'm going to do a quick review of their trip over to Japan, and then she and I are going to announce that we're going to do a series of shows this coming year, and we'll talk about that. So keep in touch about that. Attack on Titan is okay. Gets repetitive until that's kind of what I was thinking about it. Yeah. Yep. Hey, thank you so much. All right, you guys, I will have a good night. You do the same, and we're going to continue this countdown to the new year. It's coming. So everybody take it easy, take care, and we will see you very, very soon. You know that.